Hiya, I'm Shaggy. I'm Philaletea. You seem to have caught me in the middle of my breakfast. This sunflower honey seed bread is incredible. Just could not be happier. La Brea Bakery gave, well, whoever La Brea Bakery is, somebody gave like 6 loaves of this stuff to Christ's table on Monday. And yeah, this has been what I've been eating all week. It's incredible. But let's do some philosophy for the football fan. What do you say? And now, as a little primer for these, if you don't know me and you don't know what I'm doing here, you don't actually need to like or even admire football. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to know anything about it to participate in these and have a good time with me. So something I think about a lot, because I write, and my writing is set, a lot of my writing is set in the 10th century, AD and before. One of the things I think about a lot, just as a me, is how to convey how interesting actually the Dark Ages are. The parts that aren't literate, the parts that didn't have castles and didn't have knights and didn't have what you think of as ladies in fancy silk dresses. So from before the Arthur Legends. And so I am a networking kind of thinker. That's not what they call it. I like to call it holistic thinking. But while I'm watching one thing or thinking about one thing, I'm comparing it to or thinking about another thing that has very little to do with it. And so I would absolutely implore you that if you want to know what pre-modern kings were like, if you really want to understand the man Charlemagne, and I really do want to understand the man Charlemagne, all of these historical people that are brought to us in legend by these historians, I want to understand them because I want to know if I want to emulate them or not. And I want to know if I want to praise them or, like Hitler, tell people to, like, maybe stay away from that guy. Maybe just, like, forget he ever lived. But this is why historians and these figures have made it to us, is because we're meant to emulate them. As an example, Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations so that his son would emulate him, knowing that everyone else who read it would be inclined to emulate him because he's Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome. And that was a work of philosophy. So, philosophy for the football fan. I like to watch these owners because these owners are not similar to, they're exactly the same as these pre-modern kings. Some of these ownership groups are even dynastic families, like the Bears. McCaskey goes all the way back to the first Bears owner. And so you can watch their behavior, and you can know their racial background, and you can start to predict how they're going to behave. And so Charlemagne, at the end of his life, one of the great kings of France, right, started France and Germany, Holy Roman Empire. He was forced into retirement by his sons. So I keep waiting for Stephen Jones to gouge out his dad's eyes and send him to a monastery upstate.